They can do things like burn our fat, tan our skin, focus our brains.
Have you heard about peptides?
I'm a big fan of peptides. I've used them myself.
I'm on Retta, tesamorelin, and then NAD nasal.
Pitches for them are all over the internet.
GHKCU.
GHK.
TB500. Retatrutide.
Melanotan 1.
It's not just young influencers. Here's a neuroscientist.
In theory, you could eradicate obesity. People can lose up to 1/3 of their body weight.
Serena Williams takes them and does commercials for them.
GLP-1s for weight loss is a shortcut.
Those GLP drugs are peptides. So is insulin. Peptides can do good things.
Raises energy and libido dramatically, fat loss dramatically.
Wow, I want some. I'm old. I want to slow my deterioration. And I hear all these great things.
Everything from improving sleep, cognitive enhancement, recovering from illness, musculoskeletal injuries, and building muscle.
So where can I get some? Well, there's the problem. The FDA banned most peptides.
There's a lot of hype around the use of peptides.
Dr. Anita Gupta was on the FDA advisory committee that recommended the ban.
We all want to hack into our health, right? We all want to get better really quickly. But, we can't reboot our own, bodies, and we can't undo an injection. There could be an immune response.
Could be. You doctors are always saying that, but these kids make an impressive case.
I built more muscle and became much stronger overall.
Kids, they're not medical professionals. And are you actually getting what you think you're supposed to be getting?
How do you know?
That's the problem.
Most peptides in America come from overseas labs that claim we're not selling medicine.
We proudly offer reliable, high-quality peptide services directly to researchers.
They list them as for research purposes only, not for human use.
It's like the wild, wild west.
And the gray market is huge.
It's huge.
Most of those peptides come from China.
I do not suggest people purchase black market peptides.
So given that, how does the FDA's ban really protect people? Because the FDA makes these illegal, it's harder to check out what the source is because people sneak it in the country.
Right.
If they just said it's your choice, there'd be American product.
And I do understand that potential risk of this gray market.
Why do you doctors get to be the gatekeepers? It's my body. Can't I make my own choice?
Yeah, I do believe that.
But it's not my choice.
Well,
FDA people say I can't legally have it.
I get it. We have to respect patients' autonomy, but at the same time, we have to provide informed consent.
I consent.
Consent to what? Do you know all the risks to the medication?
There are risks.
My friend almost died on July 3rd from anaphylactic shock 5 minutes after injecting an injectable peptide.
The FDA shutting down American suppliers didn't prevent that. Government bans create nasty black markets.
I had a really bad allergic reaction where I swelled up all in my midsection, my hands, my feet.
We don't want a public health fiasco because a corner was cut on safety.
Yes, the FDA protects Americans from bad drugs, but that protection also costs lives by denying people good drugs. Beta blockers saved lives for years overseas before they were finally approved here. There are drugs that the FDA rejects and then they approve them later because they turned out to be useful.
Of course, that due diligence could very well happen here too.
But the FDA takes 10 to 15 years to approve a new drug.
We're still in the early stages of trying to figure out if this truly is an innovation. And sure, there is a possibility that there is, a great breakthrough that we're about to see. But the reality is that the long-term study has not been done.
Now the FDA says they may ease restrictions the Biden administration put on some popular peptides. So soon we may be able to legally buy what these so-called biohackers push.
I basically think that this is like one of the greatest compounds ever created.
My bottom line is, why does my government get to say I may not? Don't I own my body? Why do bureaucrats have the right to tell us what we can put in our bodies? It ought to be our choice. I'm not sold on peptides yet, but I'm eager to be convinced. Like and subscribe to make sure you get that video where I say, yes, it's still me, but now I look much younger and I'm much stronger.